What's up, everybody? MLB Talk 123. Alright, we're going to talk about the Chicago Cubs today. Not looking good in the Windy City here. I am writing them off for the 2011 season. I know it's a bold thing to do since we're only about a third of the way through, but I've definitely seen enough. I'm not even a Cubs fan, and I've seen enough. I can't imagine if I were a hardcore Cubs fan. Now, if you look in the standings, yeah, they're not too far back. But I've seen enough of this team to know that that number of games that they're back is only going to rise. Yeah, they might win, they might get on a hot streak like every team does, win 8, 9, 10 in a row. I've seen the Cubs do that. But at the end of the day, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I think that is it for the 2011 season. I think this is, if I'd be a Cub fan, obviously I'd be, in my mind, I'd be like, we can still win some games here. But, I would be definitely focusing on the 2012 season. I would not be focusing just on the players that are playing right now being in the 2012 picture. I would be thinking about possible trades, acquisitions that the Cubs could make from now until 2012, because the deal is they're not cutting it. What they have on the field is not going to be enough. They're going to need a first baseman, long term, that can hit for average. They're going to need a new third baseman at some point. Aramis has been, very good for them, but, at some point they're going to have to look at that. Shortstop, you can pretty much have second and shortstop written off, Darwin Barney. Those are your two guys, young guys, that are going to be, the two new players for your organization if you're a Cubs. Marlon Byrd is going to be a part of it. He's been good for the Cubs, and I would picture him as being a center fielder for the Cubs in 2012. Left field is a situation, and right field is a situation. In left field, probably Alfonso Soriano, they're going to have to stick with him. You might as well, if you're paying a guy that much money, at least play him. If there's a better option, though, they're definitely not going to just play Alfonso Soriano because of the money. They're definitely going to play, I'm saying, if there's not a better option, they're not just going to not play him because he has a bad contract or they don't like him. They're going to play him because there's no one else better. He's still a good player. And in right field, they still have uncertainty in right field. They got Kosuke, but he never lived up to expectations. Not even close. They have Tyler Colvin, but he's struggled this season. I still think he can be a really good hitter. And if he is, he'll probably either be right field or first base, depending on if they can find someone else in the market at first base or right field, whichever is easier. If they were able to trade for a guy like Andre Ethier, I think you could definitely see the Cubs either going for a first baseman free agent like Prince Fielder, or maybe going cheaper, spending money elsewhere. And if Tyler Colvin starts to really put up good numbers this season, then put him at first base. And if Tyler Colvin can get back to what people expect him to be, a 20-25 home run type guy, and he was their first baseman, and he had consistent average, you got a pretty good lineup. If Marlon Byrd stays consistent and Soriano somehow gets on track at some point, and Andre Ethier, if they would trade for him, Giovanni Soto, gets on track, and Ramos Ramirez is on track, and then you got guys like Starlin Castro and Darwin Barty. That's a really good team. I'm still looking back on the days where they won 96 games. It's like, what happened to all those players? Well, part of it is like, why did they trade Ryan Theriot and Ted Lilly? Well, they traded Ryan Theriot. It doesn't look too bad. You got a guy named Starlin Castro as your shortstop. But the Ted Lilly deal does seem kind of questioning. Obviously, they didn't want to spend the money. He was a free agent going into and he's made $11 million average free agency. But now looking at it, it's like, yeah, he struggled for the Dodgers, but I think it's just because he's not in a Cubs uniform. I think he really liked playing for the Cubs, honestly. And they got to figure out something with the starting pitchers. though their fifth starters just aren't ready to come up yet. You know, the fifth starters that they're using don't seem to be major league starting material. Um, they seem to be AAA starting material, but not major league starting material. I definitely think that they need to go out and get someone. They need to rebuild this team, no question about it. Um, if they're going to rebuild this team, they need to start off by trading Carlos Zambrano, trading maybe even Carlos Pena, trading Carlos Pena, trading Carlos Zambrano, trading Aramis Ramirez, maybe. No one's going to want Alfonso Soriano's contract. But if they got lucky, obviously trading Alfonso Soriano would be a great for them. It's like what happened with the Blue Jays, the Vernon Wells deal. I was kind of a fan of the deal when it happened. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously I thought it was a bad deal for the Angels, but I thought they were so desperate for offense. How could it hurt them? Well, for one thing, they let Mike Napoli go on that one. And they also let Juan Rivera go, who that looking worse and worse now because Kendrick Morales is gone. If they would have had Juan Rivera, then you would have Mark Trumbo. You'd be catcher, DH, set at first base. I'm not going to go into that, though. The main things is the Cubs got a lot of things to rebuild on. A lot of things to look into, trades, free agency. And they need to start with getting themselves right. You know, the GM has screwed up a lot of things, and he needs to get it right for once. And, you know, if you're going to trade prospects away, it's got to be for the right players. I wasn't a huge fan of the Matt Garza trade. Obviously, he's a good pitcher, but he's a number 2, number 3 pitcher at most. Probably number 3 pitcher. Not an ace, you know. I think the Cubs need to first start off by trading the high salary players that are not going to help them win in the future. And then getting an ace. You need a consistent ace. Carlos Zambrano, he's not your ace. You need an ace. You need a guy like a Adam Wainwright. 18, 19, 20 game winner. That's what you guys need to start off by.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, dude? I was making a video.
Oh.
Alright, well, anyway, they need to rebuild. My brother. And I can talk more about the Cubs. Just send a comment or whatever. Alright, thanks, bye.